Hey guys, this video is about the differences between ionic and covalent bonds. Currently, we know that ionic compounds have a high melting point, whereas molecular compounds have a low melting point. Now, ionic compounds have a metal and a nonmetal that are bonded electrostatically, whereas a molecule, which has the covalent bonding, has two nonmetals that are bonded together. Now, the two nonmetals share electrons. Based on electronegativities, they're very similar or very close. Whereas in an ionic compound, the electronegativity difference is much, much greater. Now, one visual I like to show you guys is the conductivity that ionic compounds have due to their ability to produce ions in a solution. Now, I have three beakers here, okay? And then I have this light, which is a tester. The tester, once it goes in, should light up if it detects ions that are dissolved. Okay, so for the first beaker, I'm going to put on the stir plate, put a stir bar in there, mix up the water, and I'm going to pour a little bit of sugar in, which contains covalent bonds. Okay, now I'm going to let it mix up. Now I'm going to put water, put the stir bar in there, and this is deionized water. This is water to where the ions have been removed. And the last one here, I'm going to put some salt in, sodium chloride to be exact. So let's let them all mix up for a minute or two. Okay, now we can take my little test light as they're mixing, and if I take a metal wire and I touch the two conductors, the light will turn on, so it completes the circuit. Okay, now these two tubes have the wire in it that I touched, and the light will go on. Now, as I put it in the sugar water, you can see the light does not turn on. So that tells me that there are no ions present. Now, in the DI water, the same thing. There is no ions present. Okay, now for the salt water, the light turns on. So you can see clearly there's ions present in the solution. So you have your positive and negative ions floating around, and the current is completing the circuit to allow the light to turn on. Now if I go back to the sugar water, the light does not turn on. Okay, it's off. So there are no ions being produced with the sugar molecule. Okay, so that's a little visual for you guys to see the difference in those.